Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Colonus Cougar Meat Kid Colin Color for the World of Great podcast. Uh, Making this video late at night in bed, I kind of just had to get these thoughts out while they came to me. This is one of my biggest frustrations with political discourse and most of our information coming from Facebook. So there's something that was being shared around Facebook of an interview with Elizabeth Warren. I'm not quite sure when this interview was. I'll put the video in the comment section below. She was Elizabeth Warren was asked about Molly Tibbetts, who was a girl that was murdered by an illegal immigrant in Iowa. And the post on Facebook has caused a lot of outrage because it's been completely taken out of context. And this is my frustration with the ability to comment and join into an outrage of something before actually critically thinking about the content itself first. So we post before we critically think about it. So take a second to watch the video, maybe come back here, or maybe listen to me, then watch the video, and you can comment your opinion below. But the overall narrative that's trying to be pushed in this Facebook article or Facebook share, because the share itself, it isn't even the video, it's just a picture of the video with a title, and then if you dig through the actual article into the comments, or I found a link, I don't know, but you can get to the video through it. But I have a really strong feeling that most of the comments on this page or on the share, most people haven't even watched the video. So I went and actually watched the video. She's asked about the immigration policy, and the interviewer is saying because of this, the Trump administration is pushing for stronger immigration reform. Now, this is a straw man, or false equivalency argument where they're building up this one case to be a reason for stricter immigration policy, and the stricter immigration policy is a big reason why they're having these terrible ICE camps where kids are being ripped away from their family. These are two completely separate issues. An illegal, undocumented immigrant that killed somebody does not justify these camps that are being run by ICE where kids are dying and they're cramming, ripping up our families and cramming kids into these cages. These are two completely different things. But what Elizabeth Warren said, knowing that this is a gotcha question, is that, first of all, she said, I'm sorry to the family, this is tragic. She says, but we need to focus on the real issues. Like, the aggressive, undocumented, the bad people. Having an immigration policy where you can really filter out the real problems, like this specific case of Molly Tibbetts in Iowa and this undocumented immigrant. Okay, so that's where the focus should be. And then what she says is, if you go to these camps and see these mothers that have been lied to, but where their children are, and these innocent children, she's saying that's not the problem. First she said that these aggressive people that come into the country and kill innocent young girls, they are the problem. That needs to be the attention, exactly what everybody wants it to be. And the focus should not be on innocent families that are seeking asylum. And somehow, within this political discourse, the narrative is that Elizabeth Warren is making light of this young girl dying, saying that that's not a problem, and that these kids in cages are. It's literally, if you read the article, they're just taking small quotes and then jumping to, they put the real problems part, like she thinks we should focus on real problems like kids in cages. That is not how this interview went. She said we need to focus on real problems like the Molly Tibbetts case, and not these innocent kids. We shouldn't be taking them and putting them in cages. That's not the problem. That's why they shouldn't be in cages. So I try really hard to be optimistic. And I think my podcast partner, the Flow Mike Chisholm, helps me with this. But this is where my cynicism when I was younger all came from. What I've been trying to get over in my 30s is the cynicism of the lack of critical thinking from us here in the West who should be able to critically think. Take 2 seconds, read an article, and hey, if you're too lazy to take 2 seconds to read the actual original video, that's fine. You don't have to pay attention to this one topic. But don't add to the outrage. Don't share it, calling her a piece of shit. Somebody in the comments had said she's heartless, where in the video she talks about how kids shouldn't be put in cages. How much of a hypocrisy is that? You're calling someone heartless who doesn't want thousands and thousands of kids to be locked in cages. So I beg of you, anyone out there that watches it, the couple dozen people that watch our podcast, this is why the World of Grey exists. There's so much more than what you're getting in these sound bites and these out of context quotes. So take a little bit of time, research a little bit more, talk to people face to face, get their opinion, people you respect, people's opinions matter to you. Not just, social media has some great things. It's a great way to connect. It's a great way for me to get this information out. But if I can beg of people just one thing, it's a little bit more critical thinking before we add to this outrage culture, because it's just a shitstorm of outrage that doesn't solve anything and is not backed up by any merit or fact. And it is a scary times, and it's a slippery slope. So I want everyone to be able to, filter out the bullshit, because I truly care about all of you wonderful human beings, because we are all just a bunch of people living in a society divided by black and white arguments. And I hope I can help some people explore the world of gray. All right, everyone. Peace. Love.